never did. So yeah, I'd hate to think where I'd be now if I did get the help from Futures Unlocked. So yeah, 100% go for it.
So we're a charity. The clients that we work with aren't able to produce money to buy into this project, so we rely very heavily on our donors to keep that core mentoring work going. And that's the biggest challenge, really.
What we offer is a range of projects, but mainly it's to do with one-to-one mentoring for somebody when they come out of prison. And the first few weeks when you come out that's when you're most likely to commit a crime and go back into prison.
They are given £46, which is due to help them settle back into the community. It's a very small amount. The principal issues will be things like accommodation, finance. They have to sign on for universal credit, where they don't get paid for 6 weeks. Until they've got an address, for example, they can't claim universal credit, can't get past the what's your address part of the online application. And if they haven't got an address, they can't get employment. And if they haven't got a job, they can't get accommodation. So it's a very complicated set of issues that they face when they come out.
Before I went into prison, I was real about taking drugs, and so when I got out, I got a lot of support from Futures Unlocked, and I think without that, there's a good chance, like I say, I'd have been straight back to doing that and mixing with the wrong people and things. So I think Futures Unlocked has helped me that way, because they've given me a different path to follow, because without that I wouldn't have known what to do.
So over the past 11 years, we reckon that we've seen and worked with over 600 men and women who have left the prison estate. The national statistics for reoffending, if you take a kind of 50% average for the national statistics, then our statistics for those 11 years average 25% or thereabouts. So we're cutting the reoffending rate by about half.
I personally work in a shop, and I've seen a lot of guys that have just been released and they're straight back. They don't know how to survive, so they're in the shop trying to rob. One
chap in particular, it said to me that he came out full of confidence, and he just stood on the high street, couldn't make sense of the shops, couldn't make sense of the cars whizzing by, and he just felt his confidence drain through him like sand through an egg timer.
I was referred and spoke to Philip a few days later, and then I was given Kaylee as my mentor. So after doing such a long stretch in jail, there's a lot that needs to be done. Shopping, budgeting, accommodation, loads of stuff. The list goes on.
Yeah, so it's a really rewarding process, I think, for both parties. It's hard work.
There's a sense that you are helping them in a very, very difficult period, particularly when they first come out of prison, when it's very tough to get back into what is our normal level of society. On the whole, generally, it is a rewarding experience.
And our local prisons are now in Wolverhampton, which is HMP Featherstone, and in Redditch, which is HMP Kewell. So they're a 100-mile round trip to get to the prison, and that's obviously a cost to the organisation, but it's also a cost in staff time, because you've got to get out to that prison to do a risk assessment, and you can't not do it, especially if you're using volunteers. You've got to have all of your safeguarding in place.
Our volunteers need huge amounts of support themselves. They need the infrastructure of the staff, and staff cost money. We work on a very skeletal staff, and those staff work their socks off. But the reality is we have 3 members of staff working full-time, 1 working part-time, with 50 volunteers, 167 referrals pretty much every year. It's a lot of people that they've got to manage.
Funding's always an issue for us. What we've done is try to respond to that in a really positive way. So we took on a big challenge last year, and we moved out of our very tiny office and took on this 3-storey building.
They were in a little office that was just literally round the corner from here, so it's expanded quite a bit from when I first started. It's got a cafe, it's got a lot of things, it's got upstairs, it's got they're holding programme rooms They've also got an office where they're holding counselling sessions as well for offenders and stuff. Because the probation services have been cut in Rugby, a lot of the probation officers are trying to work out of the cafe shop and here.
And it is a good opportunity to be able to use this building as the probation, because there was no chance of me being able to get to, Nuneaton and Leamington, so to have this facility is fantastic, really.
And your offender manager's here as well?
Yeah.
So it's kind of you two birds, one stone?
Yeah, definitely. It's a big help, very, very big help.
If you're on probation, you've been in trouble, nobody likes going down to the police station for appointments, so this is absolutely ideal for anybody who wants to use the services.
Futures Unlocked have been kind enough to accommodate us and support us throughout that transition, so I'd just like to say thank you.
We got notification of some premises in Regent Street in Rugby, and we started a social enterprise. So we set up a completely new company called Moriarty's, and Moriarty's is run by mostly volunteers, a couple of paid members of staff.
Yeah, Moriarty's is the face of Futures Unlocked. It's the first thing that people see when they come in, and we're not just a cafe, we are quite multi-purpose. We're providing work experience for people, we're providing a platform for people to sell their art. Yeah, the art is really varied. We've got all sorts of work from all different sorts of artists. Massive wall in the cafe that's filled with it, and it's all mixed up. We've got people who are doing art inside prison and outside prison, both as a therapy and to make money. And you can't tell who's done what. It's all together, all on the same platform. We've got a really wide customer base. Some people just come in because we sell really good cake and really good coffee and a reasonable price. And we're really involved with the local community and completely supported by the local community. We've got groups like Lost the Plot and Fair Share that provide us with fruit and veg from the markets and the allotments that they do. And local companies also support us, so we get back what we give out.
Another thing that Moriarty's has brought to us is the ability to employ one of our previous clients. So he's actually gone through the whole journey from us. We were there at the beginning of his journey when we picked him up from prison. We were there through all the lows when he couldn't get a job, but he came into the cafe and he volunteered there. And now he's one of the best employees we have, and he does a great cappuccino.
We're actually really good value for money. We cover a whole county with different projects, and there are 4 members of staff. People can help us by supporting the cafe, coming into the cafe, eat cake to reduce crime. That's probably the best excuse to eat cake that you'll get offered today. If you're sporty or adventurous and you're looking for a charity to support, then we'd love to hear from you. Or get involved. So we're always looking for people that are sensible and have got a level head and can support somebody coming out of prison, talking to them, listening to them, understanding what their next step is going to be and helping them to achieve it. When it works, it's incredible. You've literally given somebody another chance at life, and it's not just them, it's their family and the community as well that's going to benefit.
And like I say, I think it's saved my life, so yeah.